We talk an awful lot about Agile mindset, but do you want to know what the ultimate Agile mindset is? That's this week on the Badass Agile podcast. Greetings, team. Welcome to the Badass Agile podcast. I'm your host, Chris Williams. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Thank you, as always, for tuning in. You know, I talk a lot about beginner's mind, but beginner's mind does not just refer to emptying your mind of what you know every single day. It's much, much more than that. And if you can get at it, you can create and spread and preach the ultimate Agile mindset. But first, let's remember why we're here. To create an elite tribe of leaders who truly serve their clients and communities by doing what matters and what works. Relentlessly chasing value and excellence like a badass. There's so many resources about what you need to do to be agile, but we're focused on who you need to become in order to lead teams. So let's hammer down those fundamentals to create a truly unique force in this industry. And remember, guys, if this helps you, don't forget to tell your friends. Also, you can join us in the Badass Agile Listener Lounge, where we have special previews, exclusives, live streams, and more. Links are in the show notes. All right, in the field, we talk so much about Agile mindset. And that mindset frequently refers to things like trusting your teams, being comfortable with change, being comfortable with failure, and all of those things are true. But if you want the ultimate Agile mindset, you got to go a little bit further. And here's the simplest way to get it. Every day when you get up, whether you're walking into the office or whether you're dialing into a bunch of meetings, but each and every single day that you start, I want you to start over. And by start over, I don't mean just forgetting what you know. I don't mean being open to new knowledge, new teaching, and new information, but I want you to forget who you are. What do I mean by that? You need to forget your beliefs, and you need to forget what defines you. Here's the thing. To get better at Agile, to truly innovate, to truly disrupt, to continuously improve, to crush your goals, you don't need more information. You don't need to learn more stuff. If anything, I often suggest that you have to tear it down and build it back up again. We have to get back to simplicity. We have to get back to fundamentals. But if you truly want to hit new and increasing levels of success with Agile, you have to change your story. You have to think about everything that you believe. You have to change what you believe holds you back. You have to change your concept of who you are as an individual, as a practitioner, as a business, as an enterprise. And you have to be ready to start fresh. I want you to become a change artist, someone who is continuously reinventing themselves, someone who is continuously asking critical questions about what you believe, what you do, the rules that you live by, and the stories that you tell yourself. And I want you to disrupt them. I want you to blow them away. I want you to ask the question, what if these weren't true? What could change if these were no longer my beliefs, no longer my rules, no longer my reality, but instead, if I could create my own? Let me give you some examples on how to do it. Let's start with your beliefs. You don't need to learn anything new about Agile. You're really not doing it wrong in the first place. It's not that you have bad knowledge, but it could be that the things that you believe are holding you back from applying that knowledge. Here's some simple examples. Do you or your bosses believe that you have to have dashboard reports ready every Monday morning so that you can sit through a 3-hour meeting to review them? If you have that belief, you're already bought into the fact that status reporting is going to cost you 3 hours a week every Monday without fail, because you've already decided that you can't live without them. You've already decided that this is mandatory. You've already decided that if you don't have this information, you can't function, you can't perform. But what if that weren't true? You don't even have to let go of the belief yet. Just question it. What if that weren't true? What could you do instead? How could I get the same outcome in 15 minutes instead of 3 hours? You may even want to ask, how is this hurting us? Aside from the time that we spend, what is our laser focus on metrics and measurable objectives do for us and do against us? Learn to ask those hard questions, and you'll be shocked at the quality of the answers that you get. Now, here's where a little bit of courage comes in. If for a moment you're willing to accept that that belief may not work for you, you can try an experiment. You can take that what if and turn it into a reality. What could you try this week that's doable in 15 minutes that will produce the same or similar outcomes as that dashboard or status meeting or whatever it is that you think might be holding you back? Try it and see. Because once you've tried it and delivered it, and you've put it into the hands of the non-believers, now you have proof. Now you've opened eyes. Now you're a change artist. Do you get it? You're someone who shows people the possibility of a different future. Up next are your rules. Now, rules are like beliefs that are codified into practices. So, for example, if you can never start a new experiment without an extensive business case or a business requirements document, once again, ask the question, how does this rule hold us back? What could be possible if we didn't have this rule? Why do I have this rule? Where did it come from? Have I accepted it as fact when in reality, it's just fiction? Could I let go of this? Could we, once and for all, be free of this rule that doesn't serve us? And a funny thing will happen. If you ask your customer or your client, your employer, why do we have this rule? Where did it come from? How does it serve us? How do we know that it works? You'll often encounter a lot of confusion and a lot of blind defense of something that's possibly indefensible because we haven't really thought about it. We haven't really taken care to challenge our assumptions. And it's so important that we do that because if you don't, you end up with all of these legacy rules for rules' sake. But when you adopt this ultimate agile mindset of being a change artist, you can open people's eyes to the things that we do unconsciously, unwillingly, without good reason, without good intention. And if you've been following the Badass Agile way for any length of time, you know how important intention and vision is. All right, what about habits? Well, habits are the rules that are not codified, but they're something that you do because you've always done them. It's something that you learned, absorbed, and repeated until it becomes habitual. But much like a rule and a belief, you may be doing it long after it serves you. This one's particularly onerous because you have to look to find it. See, with beliefs and rules, they're probably written down somewhere. They're probably obvious to other people. If you have an outdated belief or an outdated rule, you're probably not the only one who knows about it, so you're probably not the only one who's complaining about it, feeling the pain. But habits can be personal. Habit is something that's internal and personal to you, to the person next to you. And one thing you need to know about habits is that no matter their origin, they serve you in some way. Some of our habits keep us from moving into areas that scare us. For example, procrastination. If you have a big, long preparatory ritual before you act, before you move, before you set out on your day, you may convince yourself that you're preparing, when in actual fact, you're stalling. So in order to supercharge and become a change artist, first you've got to see it. You have to examine, what habits do I have? What things do I do routinely? These are different questions. The questions now are more like, how do I spend my time? What did I do in between the moment that I decided to do something and the moment that I actually did it? You may have to log your time to examine, how did you spend it? What did you do? And then over a matter of hours or days or weeks, patterns may become obvious to you of where your habits slow you down and don't serve you. But friends, if you roll all of these together, your beliefs, your rules, your habits, in the composite, you have what we call your story. That is, what defines you? What are the things that you think, the things that you do, and the rules that you live by that shape your daily actions? Could these things use a shakeup? If you want the ultimate agile mindset, the answer had better be a resounding yes, because only then can you begin to honestly ask the questions and honestly look at the answers that can open up the doors to real change, to real agility. So don't wait. Try it this week, tomorrow morning when you get up. Don't just start with the beginner's mind. That is, the willingness to learn more, to know more. But take beginner's mind to mean you are prepared to revisit who you are and start with a blank slate. Friends, thank you very much for listening. You can reach out at badassagile.com or find me on Twitter at badass_agile. I'll look forward to next time, and until then, stay badass.